Well, in case any of you doubt how long we've been doing this, I don't know where everybody is. I guess it was the first sunny day since like last November or something. So that's probably why. But anyway, this is a Larry Ziegler sketch from October 25th of 1996, and that was our third Wayne's World, and this is our 70th one since then. And it was, this room wasn't even here. This was, we were in the fireplace room over down the hall, little tiny room. And so there's living proof because there's a date on it, how long ago we did that. And thank you for coming out. We got an all-star cast this time, I believe. We have Mr. Paul Hirschman, of course. I'll be putting some lyrics to his fabulous guitar playing, I like to say. I think this is his 20th one of these, so that's pretty good. Over to my right is John Stauffer. He's, and I don't say this lightly, but he's a kind of a Hollywood legend down there.
Why would anybody think you were being light about that?
Yeah, okay. He's a songwriter and a live performer, and he's played in all the houses that you really want to play in when you're there, like Molly Malone's and Genghis Khan's and Cafe Largo and everywhere. Now his album, Philosophy, is used by the Lifetime Network, is used by Hallmark, and is used as when people are getting mushy in the Fox drama. You know, when they're sitting on the couch smooching, there's 30 seconds of one of his songs there. He's been covered by some Nashville performers, and he's just absolutely incredible. One of my favorite songwriters, or I wouldn't have him here. We happen to be related. He happens to be my son, but and I wouldn't have him here if he wasn't fantastic. So, and he is. On my left, on stage left over there, this is a real treat because this is an Americana duo called True North. It's comprised of award-winning singer-songwriter Kristen Granger and Dan Wetzel. Now, Kristen was named, along with Brandi Carlile and Dolly Parton, as one of the women who wrote our 2020 soundtrack. Imagine that, and that was by Bluegrass Situations. She took first place in the 2020 USA Songwriting Competition. There's 15,000 entries on that, and she got first place on that. That's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible. Been a festival favorite. One of my favorite ones is the Troubadour in Telluride. It's just an amazing little town nestled up in the mountains in Colorado. Everyone should visit it at least once. Their building codes say that you have to have a Victorian house. And there's no business signs. It's just, you can carve McDonald's into a wooden beam and put it out in front of a McDonald's, but you can't actually have the golden arches there. So I think it's really cool. She was also a finalist at Telluride, Wildflower, Merrill Fest, Kerrville Folk Festival. You know, one of the premier folk festivals in the world, and they won't even look at you. There's like, if you've ever imagined a campfire with passing a guitar around and the camping and all the stuff that goes on at that festival, it's absolutely incredible. And her being a finalist there is unbelievable. You can't even walk up to the stage, let alone be on it playing a song. And I don't know how they decide anyway. Kristen said earlier while we were doing a sound check, she said, you know, Wildflower, there's 4 or 5 of us standing on the stage, and it's like apples and oranges. How does a judge decide which song is better? You know, out of the 5 finalists, out of 10,000 entries at Wildflower or more? Anyway, they, on Folk Alley's top album in 2020, their songs resonate with audiences who seek to be moved, and yes, that's true. Their on-stage chemistry sparks and smokes. You're going to spark and smoke? Jeff, we prefer to glisten, right? When we play. We glisten. Okay, their artistry and exquisite harmonies bring their songs to life. opening and warming hearts wherever they perform it. I just love it. Get their album, Ghost Tattoo, and they have a table back there with all their stuff on it. So it's really worth listening to when you want to calm down a little bit, take a deep breath. Okay. All right, first song tonight. I'm going to do this song because I haven't done it in a long, long time, and it's called Elijah. And I got to thinking, this is the 30th anniversary, well, July. This is the 30th anniversary of the Los Angeles riots, and in July. And I was thinking, what if you moved Elijah from 900 BC to the Pico Union area of Los Angeles, and he was facing Ahab and Jezebel. They were in a gang in our time, but they were king and queen of Israel back there in 2,900 years ago. And what would happen? Well, God probably wouldn't send a chariot down Pico Union. He would probably send a lowrider. And so that's all you need to know about this song. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Swing low, low rider, take Elijah home, swing low, low rider, take Elijah home. Deadhead singing in the riverbed of the LA aqueduct, shouting out a chorus about how he ran out of luck. 5-0 was 0-5 and totally outgunned. On Pico Union's bloody ground, love was on the run. And up come a 63 Chevrolet, one chopped cherry tray, jet black and Jack Dayton shimmering away. Elijah hit that shotgun seat, the light turned night to day. Swing low, low rider, come take Elijah home. Swing low, low rider, come take Elijah home. Well, Ahab and Jezebel were vicious, demon mean. The king of Queen and China White and MS-13. Elijah held his ground that day, the sword of God his shield, and he backed down that cruel cabal on Satan's battlefield. Okay, and up come a 63 Chevrolet, one sweet Impala, one chopped cherry tray, jet black and Jack Dayton shimmering away. Elijah hit that shotgun seat and the light turned night to day. With a band of angels down from San Bernardino on tricked out Harleys riding 2 by 2, lined up beside Elijah's ride, and that tray just hit the sky. Swing low, low rider, come take Elijah home. Swing low, low rider, come take Elijah home. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. John, give us one of your
Wayne.
wonderful, amazing songs.
Like Wayne said, we share genetic material.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll actually admit that. No, he's always been my biggest fan and biggest supporter, and it's an honor to be included in any of his musical endeavors. So I drag my tired butt up from LA and post whenever I can. A lot of the stuff that I write about is kind of about obviously, there's an LA slant. Basically growing up there, I've been there 30 years now. That's hard to believe. Jeez. After about 10, you think you're going to leave, and then you just kind of, after about 10, it's just, that's pretty much it. You're grandfathered in. There's no going anywhere. This is one of the first songs I ever wrote, actually. Back when I got this song kind of made me get the bug for it, because I felt like it kind of came out, and that was the first one I went, I might be able to do this. At the time, there isn't a particular girl named Daphne, but if you were young and dumb and and you were going to college back then in LA, you knew who this girl was. And it's about unrequited love. So Daphne wanders in at 10 to 3. When I ask you where you been, you know you just get quiet. You head straight to the fridge for the ice cream, and with those high heel shoes and that head on, you could start a riot. Won't you remember, baby, I've been waiting here all night. When will you ever settle down? Told you this bar, and now you're going out again tonight. Daphne, won't you call me up and tell me you're alright? Tell me you're alright. Remember when I walked you home from your boyfriends that night? All the guys on the corner start to whistle and shout. I wonder what those boys would think of you, my girl. But if they knew what you were all about, so won't you remember, baby, I've been waiting here all night. When will you lay your body down? Daphne, you're my pride and joy. Daphne, why you torturing this boy? And now you're going out again tonight. Daphne, won't you call me up and tell me you're alright? Alright. Daphne, did you forget your keys again? You just remind me that I'm your only friend, and all that makeup you're wearing is a thin disguise. Oh, Daphne, you're lying through your eyes. Daphne, you're my pride and joy. Daphne, why you torture this bar? And now you're going out again tonight. Daphne, won't you call me up? Hey, Daphne, won't you call me up? Tell me you're alright.
So tell me you're alright. So tell me you're alright. Tell me you're alright.
Oh,
Thank you.
wow. I wish I could write like that. That's fantastic. Take it away, you two.
Well, thanks so much for that great intro, Wayne. I'm Kristen, and this is Dan. And John, that was just so great.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Beautiful song. This first song is a song I wrote, a few years back, and it's about living with difficult people. Semi-autobiographical. And it's called The Hard Place. You are the rock, you are the hard place, you are the slow burn and the quickest about face. Your kind of turbulence, it separates continents, but the garden of your sweet peace bears no resemblance. You are the prophet, you are the fool. You're the exception that always proves the rule. Your kind of insolence shatters my confidence, but the garden of your sweet peace bears no resemblance.
Stitch my shadow to my heels, steer me clear of battlefields, point out rogue banana peels.
I should be alright. You are the old growth, you are the axe, you are the truth that gets in the way, the cold hard facts. Your kind of soulfulness counters my woefulness, and in the garden of your sweet peace there's no loneliness.
I got a feeling I can't put a name to. Like I've been walking in my sleep and I finally came to.
We can only play the cards we got, and you are the hard place. You are around.
Stitch my shadow to my heels, steer me clear of battlefields, point out rogue banana peels.
Give me strength not to fight,
And I will say with this guitar, I know what the trade-offs are, and I have wished on every star.
I should be alright.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's how you win contests.
I don't see the chemistry. I don't see. Amazing.
That's really, really fabulous. That's how you win contests,
Yeah,
right there.
There you go.
Hey, this was certainly not the last time that I misjudged a relationship in this song, but I've never done it. Happens a lot, but I'd never done this song out of Waynesboro before, and this was a wonderful 90-day, 3-month relationship that I had that I thought was absolutely perfect, and this was more than 40 years ago, and her kids, 2 of them, I still communicate with them, You know, I still talk to them. They still like me. But I went on a business trip for 4 days, and when I came back, the house was completely empty. And the kids and she were they were gone. And her brother called me several months later, and apparently, and I don't understand this, and I guess I should do some more reading about it, but she decided to go back to her abusive husband. Ugh. Ugh. Anyway, so that one didn't work out, but I got a pretty song out of it. This is called, well, maybe it's pretty, you all decide, but this is called Finch's Park. Sound in the silver rain I sail. Soon I'll see her crimson leaves should the steady wind prevail. With the first kiss of snow, the gulls tucked in low. I'm drifting and I'm dreaming of a summer long ago. In the tumbling vanilla wind in a park we'd share, like my stormy green sea. Her eyes touched me there in Finch's Park. So my heart, so it seems, still sings her song in the hold of my dreams. I'm glad I never knew how those sweet days would end. Wherever you are now, my beautiful friend, I remember well every day of my life. You loved me once back then. Yeah. Time hurries on, her children are gone, all scattered in the wind like the leaves on the lawn. The house where we lived, it's all empty and dark, but her laughter still whispers like a ghost in the park. And these years, they disappear like a lost lover's sigh. And the four strong winds still sing and still cry. But now and then I drift back again and remember well every day of my life. You loved me once back then, and I'm glad I never knew how those sweet days would end. Wherever you are now, my beautiful friend, I remember well every day of my life. You loved me once back then. You loved me once back then. Thank you. Thank you. He's got a tune.
So, this is a song about, there's two things going on here. This was a song I was commissioned to write for a wedding. Really good friends of mine. They gave me a year to write it. There's an old saying in songwriting that the best ones are written in 10 minutes, and the ones that you work on for 6 months just never happen, and they never come to fruition. And this is certainly the case, although there's a little of both going on here. So I had a year to do it. We got to the wedding, which is this gorgeous resort in Santa Barbara, and there was probably 400 people at this wedding, and I hadn't written the song yet. And I'm there with about 48 hours to go, and I'm literally the day of the wedding sitting around by the pool, and we're hungover. It's this is years and years ago, back when might have been considered slightly excessive. But I was literally sitting by the pool with the stationery from the hotel, writing the lyrics down with about an hour to go before the shuttle was going to pick us up and take us to the ceremony. So, as is true about the 10-minute rule, I managed to pull it off. I have no idea how. Well, as Wayne would say, you can be the judge of that, but I've since played it at about 20 weddings. I'm going to assume it was a mild success. Anyway, this song's called I Do.
Feels like everything is alright. You know you got this boy wrapped up tight. I can think of no more reasons to resist this love. So real, so good, the way I feel. So if we're gonna stay together, maybe we should stay forever. 'Cause if you're asking me, do I believe that all my dreams came true? Well, I'm here to tell you, baby, I sure do. Yeah, I do. So here we are at the beginning, and all our dreams still lay ahead. And if I never do another thing again, honey, I know in the end I had success. 'Cause girl, you're my best friend, and if we're gonna stay together, maybe we should stay forever. 'Cause if you're asking me, do I believe that happiness is you? Well, I'm here to tell you, baby, I sure do. Oh, I do. I never thought love could feel so real. Certainly I'm not afraid to feel. I know that everything will be alright. So if we're gonna stay together, maybe we should say forever. If you're asking me, do I believe that all my dreams came true? Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you, baby, I sure do. I'm here to tell you, honey, I sure do. Yeah, the answer to your question is, the answer to your question is, I do. Ooh.
amazing.
Thank you.
Cocktail napkins are songwriters' best friends. John, that's incredible. I don't know why that's not a national hit.
Your mouth to Nashville's ears.
Yeah. Kristen, Dan, go ahead.
You're a brave man, braver than I. I would never be able to write a song in an hour for a wedding. That just makes my heart pound.
Yeah, it wasn't by choice.
Wow, that was very impressive.
Thank you.
So this next song is one, Wayne had mentioned Kerrville, and this is the song that got me to Kerrville in the finals, and it's a song I wrote about as a family story. It starts as a family story, and then partway through it, the truth ends and the fable sort of begins, but it's based on this family story. My mother's mother, my grandmother, was born, and they named her Bertha. And she lived with that name for about 3 weeks, and then her parents went to an Old West show, and the trick rider rode in with a foot on each horse, and she had spangly costume, and the ringmaster said, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Doris Dean." And that's when my great-grandmother turned to my great-grandfather and says, "That's it, we're naming her Doris Dean." So the song is, surprise, surprise, Doris Dean, and it is loosely based on that story. My name's Doris Dean. I was born in 1917. I turned 90 years old today, or I could have been yesterday. I really couldn't say. My mother named me Doris Dean for a trick rider she had seen. Some kind of old-time Wild West show. It was part circus, part rodeo. Don't have those anymore.
That's something that I wish I'd seen. The brave and beautiful Doris Dean perform feats of courage and grace. Never break a sweat, every hair in place. Wish I could learn to ride like that in a split skirt and star-spangled cowboy hat.
Maybe everything would have turned out differently for me. Doris Dean McConney. Farming beans out in Oregon got us through the Depression. Then the winter I turned 23. I married Robert McConney. He ran the cannery. 3 months later, maybe 4, Rob went off to fight the big war. Shot down on the Sea of Japan, or so said the telegram I got from Uncle Sam.
That's something that I wish I'd seen. Brave and beautiful Doris Dean perform feats of courage and grace. Never break a sweat, a big smile on her face. Wish I could learn to ride like that in a satin shirt, a star-spangled cowboy hat.
Maybe everything would have turned out differently for me. Doris Dean McConney.
Sometimes I lie here thinking, and sometimes I just lie.
Pretend that there's some greater plan. It's not my place
Those are absolutely wonderful lyrics. I'm surprised you didn't win. I mean, you should have won. That's absolutely incredible. You can imagine what the competition was like. There are literally tens of thousands of people that try to make that stage at Kerrville, and to be in the finals there is unbelievable. Just to be there, and what a fantastic song. I just love it. Anyway, I hardly ever feel this way, but I was feeling sorry for myself. Mostly, I'm a big bundle of joy. I'm pretty happy, pretty positive, pretty optimistic. Except there was this time, I had a week where I've never had a salary. I always worked on commission. I'm very happy that I did because I got to retire and all that. But so I hadn't sold anything that week, and I'm in one of those crappy little motels, and it's Friday, and this song sort of happened. And so I don't think I've done it at a Wayne's World before. There's a Christian version of this that we've done with Flipside, but the words are different in that, of course. But this is the original version, so I dug back. I'm digging back, as you can tell, into the murky past here. So this is called Light Shines Through. Oh. Thank you. You remember that? Well, you sang on it, didn't you? Yeah. Thank you, Marty. 2, 3, 4, yeah. I talk too much, I'm barely even here. Small time player, then you come near. A cool blue comet in the stratosphere. I'm afraid if you're not looking that I'll just disappear and float like a feather from a fallen angel's wing. I'm waiting here all morning for the telephone to ring. Is it just because it does? And it's you. Well, I seem a little slick, I cry out loud. I'm a high wire walker, lost in a crowd. And in my rented room where I reinvent myself, there are broken bits and pieces and my picture on the shelf. My quicksilver words are hardly ever true, but you hear me through the noise and it sounds brand new. Is it just because it does? And it's you that your light shines through. You're a supernova where my galaxy begins. I'm guarding this outpost where this speck of dust spins, defending a small piece of indigo blue. When your light shines through, your light shines through, loving, warm, and kind. I fumble with my words, but you don't seem to mind. It's just because it's you that your light shines through. Your light shines through. Shines through. Well, I've always lived alone, but whenever we're apart, you can hear the ocean roar in the hollow of my heart. I hang on every word, but I forget what you just said, and take 2 steps backward for everyone ahead. And when I say I love you, I long for your reply. It falls like stardust from a clear night sky. Is it just because it does? And it's you that your light shines through. You're a supernova
speck of dust spins, defending a small piece of indigo blue. When your light shines through, your light shines through, loving womankind. I fumble with my words, but you don't seem to mind. Is it just because it's you that your light shines through? Your light shines through, shines through.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, John.
I like the Ungardenous Outpost where the speck of dust spins. I like that one. So if you spend 30 years in the same place, actually, no, that's the next song story. Back on track. Living in LA, you know, the cliches that, you know, the girls come from all over the country or all over the world and then get off the bus with the suitcase and dream and all that. And then what you don't see is 20, 30 years later what happens, because only about 5% of them ever do anything, right? So what are the other 95%? Where do they end up? And I was feeling particularly cynical when I wrote this.
Oh, yeah.
I have a lot of friends who have kind of gone down that path, but now that we're all kind of in our middle age, people come back around, and I'm not quite as angry as I was back then. But you'll get the gist. Anyway, this is about that girl that played on the beautiful face, and maybe things didn't quite pan out. It's called So Far.
Seems like a lifetime ago, you were running with the boys in the band. It's you had them opening doors and eating right out of your hand. I can't forget the nights that you let me love a queen of Hollywood. But you've been saying sorry lately, a little bit more than you should. Girl, always a clever line. You look just like a star. Baby, all of your treasure ain't no measure of who you are. Tell me, how has that been working out? How has that been working out for you? Tell me, how has that been working out for you so far? So far. You had a face they could easily place as a mistress or a one-night stand. You blew your lines on a casting couch, and not the kind they teach in class. Now the bright lights have faded away. You're just another face in the crowd. Don't call us, we'll call you, but nobody's calling you now. Girl, always a clever line. You look just like a star. And baby, all of your treasure ain't no measure of who you are. Can you tell me how it's gone on? Tell me, how has that been working out for you? Tell me, how has that been working out for you so far? When do you wake up and the magic's disappeared? And in the mirror you trace the
a steady toll of years. Ain't no one left to help you make your dreams come true. Tell me, why would Mr. Perfect take a second look at you? Tell me, baby. Tell me, baby. Girl, always a clever line. You look just like a star. Baby, all of your treasure ain't no measure of who you are. Tell me, how is that been working out? How has that been working out for you? Tell me, how has that been working out for you so far? For you so far. For you so far.
Oh, incredible, John. Just incredible.
Thanks.
Incredible.
Maybe a little mean. Sorry.
Well, from the Thriving in Obscurity department over here. I want to take a few minutes and introduce Dan a little bit, just because he's really being ridiculously quiet tonight, and I don't know why. He usually is the talker in the band, but tonight he said, right before we were starting, oh, I think you should just handle it tonight. So,
All your song.
So, I wanted to let you know, first of all, that he's a luthier, and that's not a person who's more luthy than someone else. That's someone who builds musical instruments, and he built his guitar that he's playing tonight. He built my ukulele. He's built lots of guitars. I think there's at least a dozen at our house that he's built, but some of them are out with musicians traveling around the road and being heard by lots of other people. He's a great singer-songwriter as well, and he kind of brings my songs to life. We have a deal. I write the melody, the words, the progression, and I tell him how I think it should sound, and he does that. And it is really not easy to do. He does such a good job doing it. This next one, in fact, is I tried to not write a COVID song. I really tried not to. But because I couldn't really make light of it, and part of it was because my mom lives in another state, and she was all by herself, and this whole time she'd been really isolated. So we talked every day by phone, and taught her to use Zoom and stuff. But she over time just was, feeling like she was losing her capacities and her faculties, and so she'd always say to me, now stop me if I've told you this before, and then she'd tell me something usually that I'd heard, and I'd say, Mom, you already told me that, and she'd say, oh, I know, and continue to tell me. Because that's what we do. We need a witness to our life, right? Yeah. And so I wrote this, what started as a poem, and then I put it as a song, and Dan put together this wonderful open tuning fingerstyle accompaniment to it, and the song is called Stop Me If I've Told You This Before. With told you this before. That's just the way it goes. The way it goes. It snows in Colorado. That's just the way it goes. The way it goes. It snows in Colorado. Stop me, you said. Stop me if I've told you this before.
Oh, my God.
And that's Dan Wetzel.
Oh. That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful.
That was epic. That
Yeah, just incredible.
was amazing.
I'm going to do a brief little tuning here because the songs sound better when you're in tune. You know, I promise that I'm not just doing these, that this isn't a therapy session here for me because it seems like a lot of these songs are kind of, well, what the heck, maybe they are. I usually write funny songs, and they're coming. All right. This song, John's familiar with this place because we're leaving Genghis Khan's in L.A., which used to be, they don't have live music there anymore, but it used to be one of the best live performance venues that you could find, Genghis Khan's. And no music there anymore. But we were heading out of there and driving through South Central L.A. Oh, I want to take 1 minute. Thank you, Lake Oswego United Methodist Church, for letting us use this space. I so appreciate it. And if you're ever looking for a kind, accepting, gentle place, this is it. Okay. And thank you, Linda and Jerry, for making cookies like the old days. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And Steve Blake back there on sound. Imagine there's 10 separate jacks that he has to balance back there and try to make it all sound good. And you missed the good button on me a couple times here, but for everyone else, it's fantastic. So thank you, Steve, for stepping in and doing that. Now, this show will be available on my YouTube channel as a recording, and it's being recorded by Doug Fontaine back there. And most of you know Dana Fontaine. That's her brother. I've had a crush on her for 30 years, but that's okay. Everybody has, so that's not new. Anyway, back to this song. So we're driving through South Central L.A., and there's a lady, young woman, sitting on a bus bench crying. And she's got a bunch of friends around her, so she was okay. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, a threatening sort of situation. And she was writing furiously in a notebook, spiral notebook. And so we continued on. We had a thing we had to do in Las Vegas, so we were heading out that way. And at a rest stop, before we got to Las Vegas, get out and stretch, you know, little potty break, stuff like that. And there's this note blowing across, a piece of paper blowing across the rest stop. And I went, oh my God, and I put my boot on it, and it said, "It could be so easy," and a woman's name and a heart. And I went, oh, now the rest of this is BS, but the rest of this is, of course, it had to be the same note, you know, 109 miles away. And so I was wondering, well, what could have happened? And as a songwriter, you get to kind of decide that. And this is called So Easy. It's one that we do at Southern Nights all the time. So this is not digging into the murky past. Okay. 2, 3.
Sisters of Sorrow on the East Side Avenue. Young girl lights a candle, but she knows she's gonna lose. So she wrote a letter and she left it in his car. Said it could have been so easy, but she knows he'll break her heart. It could be so easy. Drew the line he'd never cross, crossed it every day. Up against the wall again on the streets of East LA. With a 10-key load on a moonlit road in the Santa Ana wind. And the rosary on his rearview mirror was whispering to him, yeah. It could be so easy. So she wrote it in a letter. The letter said she better say goodbye. Could have been so easy, so easy, and God knows she tried. Well, he's driving down the desert side of Highway 95. Make the Vegas drop and try to hook it home alive. Well, his load was blowing, sold his soul for the lies that lie ahead. And the only one he'd ever loved just prays for him instead. Yeah. It could be so easy. Never thought she'd want to go back home again to Mexico, but Mother Mary, full of grace, help her find her way out of this place. So she wrote it in a letter. Her letter said she better say goodbye. Could have been so easy, and God knows she tried. Well, they found his car on a Scarborough road, stripped and cleaned completely. And a crumpled note that someone wrote said it could be so so easy. And God knows she tried. So easy. God knows she tried. Thank you. Thank you. You know what's funny? The Field and Stream has a TV show on OPB, and this guy really liked my songs, and so we're sitting at Bugatti's at the bar and working out. He can use some of them, and he said, "I really like your songs. You aren't really a singer, are you?" I was nice to him. Remember that? I was nice to him. I said, "No, I'm not." But have you ever heard Tom Waits or Chris Christopherson sing? So I'm not comparing myself. But yeah, let's hear a real singer. John, take it away.
Oh boy, I don't know about that. I was actually feeling a little lonely over here. You've got Paul and True's got North over there. Just a lone solo guy over here.
I'll hug you.
I gotta get me one of these.
I'll hug you. Yeah, you can be bought.
So I started this very last song erroneously, but when you're in the same place for 30 years, you know, you may or may not go through a few romantic entanglements, and you may or may not run into that person somewhere down the road. As you get older, you're a little friendlier with your exes. But back then, it's the end of the world, as you know, back in your 30s, whatever. But I wrote this because I ran into an old ex-girlfriend, and we went and kind of chatted, and I hadn't seen her in a long time, and there was this real sadness about it, and I kind of thought this would make a great song. So I wrote this. It's called Come Undone.
Oh, yeah.
Window shopping, early Friday night. I turned my head to see the sweet face of my history, and so lovely. Even after all this time, cup of coffee at the corner spot. The same old place we used to come and laugh a lot. Oh, it's just a chance to plead our cases, put the memories in their places now. Can you tell me how come something beautiful and real can come undone? Tell me, lady, no matter how hard I try to keep the song alive, while the music died. Wine and candlelight, drifting in tonight. That old familiar magic's got us working right, and it's a chance to feel the heat, taste the bittersweet yesterday. Oh no. And then a sad refrain, the conversation wanes, and hovering over us in the silence that remains is the question. Why we throw this song away, yeah. Can you tell me how come something beautiful and real can come undone? Tell me, lady, no matter how hard I try to keep the song alive, while the music died. It's creeping up on me the way it used to be, a sweet reminder of a different kind of love, and all the dancing feels, the only souvenirs of all the beauty that we casually left behind. Can you feel the same way twice? Can you tell me how come something beautiful and real can come undone? Tell me, lady, no matter how hard I try to keep the song alive, while the music died.
Thanks.
Man. Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
Who do I talk to about not going after him anymore?
You're doing just great.
Super good, really good. Love that. Corporation, beautiful. This next song is a kind of a circle of life song. It's about the kind of how fast your adulthood goes by, and all of a sudden you realize you're a grown up, and then you realize you're a parent, and you realize you're a grandparent, and all these things kind of happen in a cycle. And it's supposed to happen that way, but when it's happening to you, it just does not quite feel like it's supposed to. It's like everything's going too fast. And it's called Seed Leaf, and Dan's going to sing lead.
Seed leaf, flower seed, nature ever has decreed. Mighty hope to tumbleweed, seed leaf, flower seed. Head of fire and feet of clay, spin that grindstone every day. Look up and it's early May, look again and it's October. The egg hatches, the baby sings. Now she's testing her little wings, off to bigger and better things, turn a new leaf over. Seed leaf, flower seed, nature ever has decreed. Mighty hope to tumbleweed, seed leaf, flower seed. April rain, December snow, time to rest and time to grow, and blossoms come and blossoms they must go. Head of embers, feet of wood, summer's gone and it's gone for good. Winter's coming and winter should, it only stands to reason. And in the wreckage of fallen trees, in the ashes of fire leaves, there's a forest worth the seeds, ready for their season. Seed leaf, flower seed, nature ever has decreed. Mighty hope to tumbleweed, seed leaf, flower seed, seed leaf, flower seed.
Oh, beautiful. Nice. Nice. Oh, my gosh. That was beautiful. I'm going to tune one more time because when I bought this, it was tuned. Just- It's hard for me to imagine that somebody can build a guitar. But look at the curves and how delicate everything is and how perfect it has to be. And then you got to know about the sound. You got to know about what makes the best sound. And so making guitars, there's a tree, and then months later, it's a guitar. I mean, I'm going, that just can't be. That's just not the way it is.
I always say, thank God somebody's doing that, because there's no way I could.
No.
Like being a doctor, surgeon.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would just have to say, hey, you're just out of luck, sorry.
Yeah. It's just me.
Okay, this is off the new album, so most of you have never heard this before unless some of you went to band camp and got the album. It's not even in a CD copy yet. but it's all done. And what happened is I was a little tired of being alone. Although I usually really like it, you know. It's usually because there's songs going on in my head and, you know, you don't have to mess around with it. So I was looking at one of those websites, age-appropriate match things, you know. Oh, my God. You wouldn't believe it. So I didn't apply, but I went and looked around on it, and I was figuring, and it got to the point where you had to write a profile. I can just see the women thundering toward my door from my profile. And I said, who could have a worse profile? And I was thinking, oh, I know somebody. And I was thinking about Sharon, or if you're Greek, Charon. And who Charon is a ferryman that takes souls across the river Styx to Hades. The other thing that's wrong with him is his mother is the goddess Nyx. That was one really terrible woman. That she's a goddess of darkness, and Zeus was even afraid of her. You know, he was like the king of all those ancient gods back then. So he decides that he wants to start dating. And he gets to a profile part, and that's the chorus on this, and this is called No Matches Yet, which you can probably imagine. Okay, here we go. One more time.
Sharon's on the foredeck, smoking a cigarette, working the crossword from the Athens Gazette. He's the ferryman on the river Styx, and he's heading for the dock of 666. He bought a gold watch from Amazon Prime. Never had to know, but now he knows the time. There's a spot on the Styx where his phone gets a bar. Got a dating app with no matches so far. His profile says, man wants woman or something close. There's mommy issues, but that's how it goes. He likes strong women, just think who he knows. Steady night job with its highs and lows. Historically known as a man who knows, owns a boat. Goddess of darkness is his mother Nyx. Usual tricks, scaring Zeus and discouraging chicks. If Sharon retired, there's no quick fix, and his profile read, man wants woman or something close. There's mommy issues, but that's how it goes. He likes strong women, just think who he knows. Steady night job with its highs and lows. Historically known as a man who knows, yeah, owns a boat. Travel site, never over Hades just click it. Read and heed the trip reviews and buy a round trip ticket. Profile read. Man wants woman, knows something close. His mommy issues, but that's how it goes. He likes strong women, that he knows, and he's the steady tight job with its highs and lows. Historically known as a man who knows, yeah, owns a boat.
He would have trouble.
I was watching some documentary about the Beatles, and in the middle of it, some guy jumped a fence at Lennon's pad in England, and Lennon was having tea. It was like a stalker guy or something, and Lennon was having tea with him and trying to talk to him. And this guy was clearly out of his mind, but John was being so cool about it, and I thought, well, this is what a cool thing to write a song about a fan that gets a little carried away. From the Hollywood perspective, as you know, in this cult of celebrity that we have these days, it's a little easy to become a little obsessive, and we see that all the time with social media and everything. So I wrote this from the perspective of the guy who's a little too attached.
I did. Oh, and promise me that you won't laugh if I ask for more than your autograph. How could a lifetime so tragic be filled with such magic missing? Did you know that I've seen to understand. In a house on a hill in La La Land, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, how could a lifetime so tragic be filled with such magic, Miss Anne? And did you know that I've seen everything you've been in, Miss Anne? Sincerely, your number one fan. Yeah, here I am. Dear Miss Anne, dear Miss Anne. Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Ah, geez, Jenny. That's so excellent.
One thing musicians see a lot of is the inside of dive bars. And there's a bar in Salem that I have never, though I've been driving this way a long time, I somehow never saw. And one night we drove by and the light came on for the sign, and I saw the sign and I thought, oh my gosh, why have I not ever seen the Dark Horse Bar and Grill before? And I thought all the way home about, this is a song, there's a song in here, and I don't even need to go in that bar to know exactly what that bar looks like and what kind of feelings and people and whatever gather in the Dark Horse Bar and Grill. And you've been in this bar. You don't even need to go in the Dark Horse Bar and Grill because you've been in that bar. And so what John said earlier about the best songs take 10 minutes to write. I think this took 11 minutes, but it seeks to paint a vivid picture of places we go to get away from real life. Dark Horse Bar and Grill knows you've had your fill of getting out of bed to push that boulder up the hill. You can hide your car behind the Dark Horse Grill and Bar. They'll be glad to see you, and they don't care who you are or who you're letting down in some other part of town. The Dark Horse has a special vault for storing things that aren't your fault. The Dark Horse specialty is a time-worn recipe. Blend 2 parts denial with a muddled memory. You can get your fill on a $20 bill. And if that doesn't do the trick, the whiskey always will. The bourbon and the scotch will kick
you. They hire you to play at those places, and then you have to chase the manager to get your check, and it's always smaller than what they promised you, right? I mean, and you're doing it for exposure. Yeah, and you go, expose this, you know. That's it. Yeah, exactly. This is a true story. Most of them are, but this is a true story. I'm in a Howard Johnson's in Tyler, Texas. I lived in Texas for a long time, and I'm there with my friend Keith, who's this one of the gentle, most kind people in the world. He's like 6'3" and weighs about 240 or 50. He's a farmer. He wouldn't hurt a fly, and he talks that way, and he's just really nice to be around. One of those people. Got to Tyler Junior College, you know, and 1 year, and that was it. And then he went to work his dad's farm. So we're in this Howard Johnson's, and those are the Denver Bronco colors, right? The blue and orange. You ever been in one? I don't think there's any of them left anymore, but they, and the Apache Bells are this wonderful, beautiful, interesting kind of marching band that goes through parades, and they wear sparse outfits, and they attract a lot of attention. And I didn't see any Native Americans in there, but that's okay. And they started out as the Tyler Junior College prep team, and they show up everywhere. They're like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are not just at Dallas games. They're everywhere, marching and parades and special holidays. And so one was at the bar drinking, and Keith fell stone cold in love. He just looked at her, and this isn't like him. He's not a dog or anything like that, but he goes up and starts talking to her, and wonders of wonders, she talked back to him. And so he was encouraged by this, and this is a true story about what happened. Now, this doesn't have any bad words in it, but there's a couple of implied actions that you might find offensive, so I'm going to warn you ahead of time. If you're easily offended, you probably don't want to hear this song. It's called The Great American Dream. I'm going to put my glasses on for this one because there's a lot of words in it. Oh my God. There's people out there. Okay. Like the Alamo and his Davy Crockett standing on the wall. Who notifies his next of kin? Well, 1,000 angry Mexicans that Lady Luck has left him after all. He's dumber than an old dirt road and working since the day he turned 13. Got him a truck and a GED, and he set out to guarantee a clean shot at the married American dream. But getting laid off ain't what he heard getting laid should be. He had a fine 9 to 5 in a tractor factory. Pink slipped and downsized, laid off the team. He got to thinking maybe it wasn't all it seemed. This thing he always thought of as a great American dream. He married this Apache belle from the Tyler, Texas town that he knew well. Barrel racing beauty queen and a high-end sex machine. She hung out in the bar at the hotel. Somewhere in the fine print of the book of love he hadn't finished yet. Supposed to keep the money coming, unemployed was troublesome, and she weren't gonna let him soon forget it all. Took his truck to get the cash to buy her day in court, and that was it. Run up all his credit cards and threw his stuff out in the yard, and ended up with half his worldly stuff. Thank you. Thank you.
We have to coordinate our set a little better. You keep being funny and entertaining, and then I bring everybody down. Not fair. So it's interesting how there's a common thread with being in the same place for a long time. One of the other hazards is that when you break up with somebody, you all have the same friends.
Yeah.
And so there's no way to get away. I mean, it's just like, then you got your 4 friends have to plan around you being there. Oh, she's gonna, oh, okay, and then you bring in the guy, all that stuff. And that can go on for years before everybody figures it out. But this is a somewhat serious song about that situation. It's called Surrounded.
Oh, yeah.
I see you in the usual places, all the same familiar faces. I just wanna live my life again. I can't remember how I feel it. I don't really wanna steal it. I know I'm gonna break before I bend. Will it never end? Because you're still on the inside, and I know I'm on the outside, trying so hard to get around it. Oh, but you're still on the inside, and I know I'm on the outside, trying so hard to get around it. But I am surrounded. Yeah, I'm surrounded. Rolling in at 2 a.m. Suddenly you're there again. You ain't leaving me with anywhere to go. I see you everywhere in traces. You're filling all my empty spaces. I never thought a book could feel so low. Here we go again. Because you're still on the inside, and I know I'm on the outside. I'm trying so hard to get around it. Oh, but you're still on the inside, and I know I'm on the outside. Life gets so hard when you're around it. 'Cause I am surrounded. I am surrounded. Yeah, there's nowhere to run to now. 'Cause after the sun goes down, there's nowhere that I can be free of the memory. 'Cause you're still on the inside, and I know I'm on the outside, trying so hard to get around it. Yeah, but you're still around it. Oh, I'm surrounded. I am surrounded. I am surrounded. I am surrounded.
Wow.
Thanks.
You just keep going on being depressing. It's totally wonderful. Fantastic.
Sad songs are the best, in my view. I love sad songs. So, of course, to continue on our tour of misery, I'm going to offer you another sad song. During the pandemic, we had an album all ready to launch, and we had a tour lined up, and we were headed to Ireland. We were just getting ready to take off when
So sorry.
pandemic hit, and everything stopped, as you all will know. But we released our album. We just delayed it. We ended up delaying the release, but there was nowhere to go to tour with it, so we just released it into the wild, into the universe, and it still did really well on folk radio. It went to #1 on folk radio, and we had our first #1 single on folk radio.
Yeah.
And thank you. And Dan and I play as a duo a lot. We also play with a band. It's Kristen Granger and True North, and the record we released was called Ghost Tattoo and is released under Kristen Granger and True North. And this is the #1 single, and it's a song called Keep the River on Your Right. The mandolin solo will be a little low because obviously the mandolin player's not here, so to imagine that part. Hit it. Mid-October, geese are flying over, headed for the coast. But you're not here, and it seems this time of year is when I feel it most. And all that talk of heaven, well, it never resonated back in Sunday school. But I found my religion on a windy mountain ridge, on a riverbank with you. Melancholy gets into my way. I remember what you used to say. Keep the river on your right. You can't go wrong with the river on your right. If you lost your way and you're running out of daylight, keep the river on your right. The autumn leaves, they whisper in the trees against an endless sky. Despite it all, every leaf must fall just like you and I. And if there is a heaven, well, I bet you got your campsite all staked out. And if there is a heaven, I bet you play that country station way too loud. When melancholy gets into my way, I remember what you used to say. Keep the river on your right. You can't go wrong with the river on your right. If you lost your way, you're running out of daylight. Keep the river on your right. Keep the river on your right. You can't go wrong with the river on your right. If you lost your way, you're running out of daylight. Keep the river on your right. Keep the river on your right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, we have a couple of more songs to go, but if you'd like, is that on one of your albums for sale over there? You can, that table back there, they will both be back there, and it doesn't matter which one of those records you pick, but pick that one. That's
great.
really, really cool. Guess what? Yeah. So stock up for Christmas. It's only 7 months away. I'm going to do this song for one of our parishioners who passed away, Louetta, who bought every album that I ever produced while she was still alive. And this song I wrote because of Dave Carter passing. It's okay, I'll be okay. But it really affected me and still does to this day. I still have a hard time with it when I think about that. He was a good friend. But this won the Portland Songwriters Association Song of the Year, which is pretty cool. I think it was. Oh, thank you. Bless your heart. I think it was because it was for Dave Carter. But and this goes out to Louetta, and the reason it does is because she requested this song every time she came to hear us play. And so I'm going to do it now. Here we go.
Like a painter misses blue when he wants to paint the sky or the laughter in his eye. And blue, it's just not there, can't find it anywhere, and only blue will do. And I miss you. Well, I miss you like a farmer misses green when the planting's far away on a cold November day. And green, it's just not there, can't find it anywhere, and only green will do. And I miss you. Lit a candle as the days turn gray. I tried to read your letters, but for now they're put away. I miss you like the winter misses white in a soft and silver light on the dark hills late at night. And white, it's just not there, I can't find it anywhere, and only white will do. And I miss you. Found an old scarf that you used to wear. Well, the color's faded, but your scent's still there. Voice is now just a whisper in a dream, so I keep it here on my answering machine. And I miss you when the songs have all been played and the years begin to fade forever, I'm afraid. I turn and you're not there, can't find you anywhere, and only you will do. And I miss you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Sometimes a song just is just like a one-liner like that you just thought of, and you build an entire song around it. And I suffer from sleep deprivation. I'm a terrible, maybe the worst of all time. It's an ongoing battle. But I was laying there thinking of not being asleep, which is, of course, all you do when you're not asleep, is thinking about not being asleep. And I thought of the line, I got up to walk to the bathroom, and I thought, oh, I'm walking in my sleep right now. And I thought, well, that would be a cool line for a song. And then, of course, I built a really sad breakup song around it. That's what I do. So this is called Walking in My Sleep.
Spent another lonely night, suffering the silence you demanded. Once you used to call me home, now the house is empty and abandoned. Once there was a sunlit sky, rising after every night with you. Now the dawn breaks cold and gray, all the colors swirl into blue, to blue. Walking in my sleep, no direction left to keep. I just stumble around these halls in search of you. Something incomplete, it would help me if you please keep on telling me the lies I thought were true. But you just said it's over, and I'm thinking that it might be time to find the strength I need to finally leave you behind. Once I used to walk on air, certain you would always be around. Neon lights so cold and grisly, taking all those empty faces now. Such a poisonous attraction, I would live for your reactions too. All my tricks and sleight of hand, illusion so completely lost on you, on you. Walking in my sleep, no direction left to keep. I just stumble around these halls in search of you. Something incomplete, it would help me if you please keep on telling me the lies I thought were true. But you just said it's over, and I'm thinking that it might be time to find the strength I need to finally leave you behind. Say goodbye, write your name across my sky. I can only hope with time the smoke will clear and you'll just disappear. Halls in search of you. Something incomplete, it would help me if you'd please keep on telling me the lies I thought were true. But you just said it's over. And I'm thinking that it might be time to find the strength I need to finally leave you behind.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Sorry about that feedback. There was a little. Thank you.
So Wayne, is this my second to last song or last song?
This is your, when I start, that's the last song, so you're going to close the show after.
So
We got one more song after this song each. Okay.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
It did.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you. Thank you. This is a song I wrote in a hardware store in Belfair, Washington.
Yay.
Because why wouldn't you? The truth is, I was working on this song and I was fretting over it, and I really couldn't figure out the last part of it, and I was stomping around and throwing things, and Dan said, I need to go to the hardware store. And I said, can I come? So we pull in, and he walks over to fasteners, and I kind of drift through the aisles thinking of things and fretting and thinking and fretting, and I'm standing in the lighting section, you know, and it comes to me how I'm going to solve the problem of this song. And I have this little catharsis, and I realize that I'm going to actually cry in the hardware store. And you're not supposed to cry in the hardware store, but I learned from friends that if you think you're going to cry and you don't want to cry, if you look up, your tear ducts don't work as well. And so it will keep tears from streaming down your face, and you won't embarrass yourself. So I'm looking up so as to not cry, and the guy in the red vest comes over and says, ma'am, can I get any of those lights down for you? And I go from this to this, and tears. And he's like, I. It was really embarrassing, but I did get a good song out of it. It won the International Music Entertainment Association Folk Song of the Year, and it was a song that you don't submit it. They just find you somehow. So they said, you're in the finals if you want to tune in, and there's like this red carpet thing you can come to, and I was like, I have a job, I can't go to that, but we watched it, and then they called my name, and I'm like, and I got a trophy, and I was like, wow. Anyway, all because of the hardware store in Belfair, Washington. So it's McClendon's, in case you ever want to go there and be inspired. And it's called Be Here Now. They were on their honeymoon, and the bride said to the groom, I just can't forget the dream I had last night. I saw John, Paul, George, and Ringo in the churchyard playing bingo on the gravestones. This is how the groom replied. He said, be here now, be with me, look into my eyes, kiss me, make this a moment we will savor, and we'll put it aside for later. We are young, our lives begun, but it will not last forever. There'll be days we're not was after visiting hours, and he'd rearranged the flowers, and she hadn't recognized him in a week. And the nurses heard him sing, "Hey, you gotta hide your love away." And she opened up her eyes and began to speak. She said, "Be here now, be with me, look into my eyes, kiss me, every breath becomes a treasure. In my heart we're young forever. My race is nearly run. I no longer feel the sun, but I can face whatever comes. Just be here now. Though my race is nearly run, I no longer feel the sun, but I can face whatever comes. Just be here now. Just be here now."
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was absolutely beautiful. Can you all stand one more song? We're going to do one more song, and then we're going to wrap it up. And thank you all for coming out tonight. It's just really, really wonderful to see you on one of our first sunny days in like years, I guess. This is a song about a touring tent revival. Brent, who runs sound, was with the Calvary Boys back in the day, and they were a riot. They were really fun. They'd leave out of Garland, Texas, and they would go to Longview and then to Tyler and then to Shreveport, Texarkana, Gainesville, and Wichita Falls. And they'd do this loop when the weather was good. And these preachers are something else. And so I'd like to sing a song about the Calvary Boys and these preachers. They're unbelievable. But here we go. Okay, last one, guys.
It's a Pentecostal Cook County flame-throwing preacher in a rented tent and a row of old gym bleachers. Machine gun gospel at the top of his lungs, murmuring soft when he's speaking in tongues. I remember rusty old Econoline van. These guys unload and the singing began. It's a five-piece band in a Rhodes 88, and harmonies right out of Heaven's Gate. Calvary Boys, they're praising Jesus. Calvary Boys, sing, Jesus sees us, driving down that wide revival highway. And each and every East Texas Sunday, crying and confessing their sins and such. Some folks thinking it ain't them much. Despite the fear of the wrath of God, there's a flash of white and a winking and nod. Them Calvary Boys, they're praising Jesus. Calvary Boys say Jesus sees us when we're driving down that wide revival highway. And each and every East Texas Sunday, do it, Paul. looks up and there's more folks praying hallelujah. Them Calvary boys are playing. Them Calvary boys praising Jesus. Them Calvary boys sing Jesus sees us. And we're driving down that wide revival highway. And each and every East Texas Sunday, they're driving down that wide revival highway. And each and every East Texas Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you.
So for those of you who want to be musicians out there, you might have noticed that maybe the guitar in the last song I did was a little hard to hear. Just a little tidbit. Make sure it's plugged in.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm sure our port sound guy was very confused. Yeah, it was just... Anyway, rule number 1, plug it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so you don't think I'm all tears.
You're pretty darn cute.
Shucks. And I can write a happy song or a fun song at least. I'm going to wrap it up with on an up note. This song, by the way, Paul the Maestro Hirschman. Let's give it up for him. It's worth seeing. He's going to honor me with some lead work because I felt left out in the whole duo thing. So, anyway, this song is about making cornbread. And if you guys can infer or think it's suggesting anything else, well, that's your problem. And shame on you.
Won't you come over and make cornbread with me? Oh, cornbread, make cornbread with me. Cornbread, make cornbread with me. Honey, cornbread, make cornbread with me. Cornbread, make cornbread with me.
Thank you, Paul. That was awesome. That was beautiful.
So, Krista, you two take us home. Okay?
We want to thank Wayne again for inviting us here. We were real glad to be part of this. And thank he and John both for being so inspirational and so good. And thanks Steve for doing sound. And mostly thank all of you for coming. It would have been a lot different without you. So I used to introduce Kristen as this great songwriter that wrote all the country hits like Get Your Tongue Out of My Mouth, I'm Kissing You Goodbye, and When I'm Under the Table, I'll Be Over You. And one day she came home and said, is there really a song called When I'm Under the Table, I'll Be Over You? And I said, no, I made that up. And she said, well, there is now.
When you're up and left town, dear, broke more than my heart. A flat tire on the John Deere, and the Chevy won't start. You made off with our nest egg and our best hired hand. So I guess I'll start drinking till I can no longer stand. When I'm
Under the table, I'll be over you.
I got a lot of brown liquor for a heart that's so blue. Here's my friend
Friends Jack and Daniel, help you get through.
When I'm under the table, I'll be over you. Well, there's some that's born pretty, with nothing to hide. You know who you are. And there's some keep their beauty all on the inside. But you were made special, of that there's no doubt. You're pretty but ugly, both inside and out. When I'm
Under the table, I'll be over you.
between honor and cherish, guess you're 0 for 2. There's my
Friend Johnny Walker, help me get through.
And when I'm under the table, I'll be over you. but you aren't here to tend it. You're out drinking, smoking. We never had Paris. We'll never have Rome. So just stay where you are, dear. Send that hired man home. And when I'm
Under the table, I'll be over you.
got a lot of brown liquor for a heart so blue. With my friends
Jack and Hannah, help me get through.
when I'm under the table, I'll be over you and that hired man too. When I'm under the table, I'll be over you.
Wonderful song. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So nice to see you all. Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you down the road.
So good.
This is wonderful. Thank you all. And I'd especially like to thank Christine Granger and Dan Wetzel. And I'm very proud of my son, John, as he's just unbelievably gifted and talented. Thank you, Paul Hirschman. Thank you, Steve Blake. Thank you, Doug. Huh? Oh, that's okay.